We start with the new details we're learning from law enforcement a short time ago in the Nancy Guthrie case. The Pima County Sheriff's Office gave an update on their investigation. They said there are still no leads on a suspect, but they've been working around the clock, and they believe Nancy is still out there. It follows an emotional video shared by Guthrie and her siblings last night in which they spoke directly to their mother's possible abductor and to Nancy herself, and pleaded for her safe return, telling their mom to stay strong. Authorities gave a news conference on the investigation, and they included information about a potential ransom note.
We believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do.
CBS News reporter Gutierrez is following the latest from Tucson in this unfathomable story. Tell us what stood out to you in terms of new information we learned.
Well, Lindsay, we ended up getting a very clear picture from investigators as to where their investigation stands at this point, and they are operating under the belief that Nancy Guthrie is still alive. The sheriff walked us through that narrow overnight window at the center of this investigation. We have learned that Nancy Guthrie ended up taking an Uber to her daughter's house Saturday evening, just around 5:20 for dinner and games. Her son-in-law ended up dropping her off at her house just before 10 o'clock at 9:48 p.m. 2 minutes later, technology that they've ended up recovering shows that the garage door closed at 9:50. Then at 1:47 in the morning, her doorbell from the front door has been disconnected. And I was out there on Tuesday afternoon where, yes, I did see a small amount of blood out there, but there were noticeably the bracket where the camera should have been still there. The camera itself gone. And so right now they're trying to figure out what happened to that camera. So that was noticeable out there, besides the Amazon package also being dropped off out there. Then at 2:12 in the morning, there's software that flags movement inside the home, but investigators say that there was no video to recover. They have been working with the different tech companies, one of them being Google, and at this point they have said they've exhausted every possible way to extract any video. At 2:28 in the morning, Guthrie's pacemaker is disconnected from her phone, and then the next morning we know that she doesn't show up to church. Then her family shows up at the house at 11 a.m., walk around the property, do an extensive search. They can't find her, call 911 just before noon, and that's how we get to where we are at today.
And so, Andres,
investigators confirm that the blood in front of the,
You physically saw that bracket with the video camera missing?
Yeah, the bracket's there. Camera, the doorbell where it should be, gone. So that stood out while we were out there on Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Andres Gutierrez, thank you. And we were just hearing Andres talk about that blood at the front door, confirmed now to have belonged to Nancy. Let's bring in Anna Schecter, the head of our crime and policing unit. There's so many developments. I think probably the most pressing is this deadline that's coming up at 5 p.m. today. And it seems minute. But, like, are we talking about Eastern time, or are we talking about local Mountain time and minute? But there is a 2-hour difference.
There's a 2-hour difference. And here's where I'll say, when we're talking about this ransom note, there's an interesting detail that we're jumping over, but I think it's important. They were sent to the local news stations first and TMZ. So that's interesting. Why send it to the local news station? So I imagine Tucson time, so Mountain time, so 2 hours before, so 5 p.m., so that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I imagine that for the family, that is just so distressing when they haven't established any line of communication with the captors. So they know this deadline is approaching. They are willing to engage in a negotiation, and they just can't. They can't do it.
Assuming that this is real and that
Assuming that this is real. That's right. We don't know for sure. The FBI is chasing it down, but it did appear from that press conference that this is the strongest lead that they have.
We all saw that video, that heart-wrenching video that was posted last night. I want to go ahead and play some of it. Savannah and her siblings making a direct appeal to these potential captors and their mother as well. Let's listen. All right, it doesn't look like we have it, but she essentially said we live in a day and age where media and images can be easily manipulated. We need to know without a shadow of a doubt that you have her and that she is alive. Basically, you have to prove it to us. Are we in a day and age where AI is hindering this investigation?
It potentially could, and the FBI is really concerned about this because proof of life could be sent based on images that are already out there. AI can alter pre-existing photos and videos, of which there are plenty, right? Nancy Guthrie was on the Today Show. There are photos of her from her own Facebook account out there that could be manipulated as a proof of life. And they want to say, it's got to be real. We want to know, because they're going to negotiate based on knowing that their mother is alive.
And I'm guessing law enforcement doesn't have a ton of experience in an investigation like this with the AI complicating factor, because this year was really the first time that AI became so ubiquitous.
And the AI has gotten so good that it's actually hard to tell. It's gotten much harder to tell. I mean, every month the technology is advancing. It's like at light speed. So that is a big challenge for investigators.
Okay, Anna Schecter, keep us posted. Thank you.